Hi all, I apologize again for the voice recorded post. It takes me so long to type. This is just a little bit more convenient. So my topic for this week is anxiety in college students. I noticed last year when I first began teaching that the incidence of anxiety in students was a lot higher than I ever would have thought. I had a large number of students who were coming to my office on a fairly regular basis to discuss concerns related to anxiety and the impact that it was having on their college career, on their personal life, on their sleep habits. I had also noted when I was in grad school the high prevalence of anxiety and other mental health disorders in some of my athletes. What I found while I was looking at this condition is that the most common age for developmental mental health disorders is 18 to 24 years old. So while some of our students may come in with mental health disorders, we may also see some students who develop these disorders, develop anxiety or depression while they're at college. This is something, especially as the college athletic trainer, that we need to be really aware of. The addition of new and unique stressors that are involved with moving to college, be it the new environment, pressure from parents to excel, pressure from coaches, extracurricular activities, if they have any, grades most specifically. Most recently, social media has been shown as well to increase the anxiety in college-age students. This is something that we need to be aware of. I had also noted as I was going through our physicals that we really don't have anything related to mental health listed on our physicals, and I had also noted that many students aren't willing to share this information willingly. This is something that I feel still has a stigma attached. While Hoffman did note that the stigma has been reduced, it is still definitely there. It's something that we can observe just in our normal day-to-day society. So as anxiety is diagnosed when it begins to interfere with normal daily life. There are several times it's been shown to heighten, but typically we look at anxiety as it relates to job performance, perhaps schoolwork or relationships. We also see this heightened anxiety during final exams, specifically perhaps midterms. We tend to see it at the end of semester or the end of a college sports season, as well as the end of a college career. I myself have noted that in students where I previously didn't know or they didn't know they maybe had some anxiety, towards the end of their college career it really seemed to show up. The Mind, Body, and Sport document put out by the NCAA also showed that there were a handful of injuries that were shown to increase anxiety, and concussion was one that actually had a direct correlation to increased anxiety. So anxiety has now surpassed depression to be the leading mental health disorder in college students. The American College of Health Association found that 1 out of every 6 college students has been diagnosed or treated for anxiety, and that half of all students who seek treatment at campus health facilities cite anxiety as one of their concerns. In 12.9% of college students, anxiety affects their performance. It was also noteworthy that anxiety is rampant, but it's especially important to note that there are a lot of students and a lot of athletes who maybe aren't diagnosed with the condition, but that still have some challenges that they face related to anxiety. So there are no set determinants that I could find. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of correlations we can draw to new environment, to pressures from parents and coaches, just to athletic performance and college life that are related to heightening anxiety, but there's nothing that I could find as far as a genetic link or any other specific lifestyle habits that contributed to anxiety. It's also noteworthy that there are several different kinds of anxiety disorders, including generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and social anxiety disorder. While currently we note that generalized anxiety disorder is the most common, as athletic trainers, we need to not only be aware of the prevalence of anxiety, but also of the signs and symptoms and how it can specifically impact our athletes. We need to be on the look for athletes who are restless, or they seem to be kind of wound up all the time. They may have a difficulty concentrating. Irritability was noted in a lot of athletes, and sleep problems was another concern. Several of the signs and symptoms, including sleep problems, also muscle tension and irritability, could also predispose our athletes to other injuries, so those are things that we need to be on the look for. We also want to be aware of the prevalence. This is something that we should begin to include in our pre-participation physicals. I've seen a lot of facilities lately that are beginning to do mental health inclusion training, including mental health concerns in their policies and procedures manual. We've begun to include it in a lot of our coursework. We've implemented it in several different places throughout the program, and I know other programs have done the same as well. I've also noted that we have a lot of continuing education becoming available on anxiety and mental health disorders. I've been to a handful of conferences this year, and at every one, I've noted that there is at least one seminar that's related to mental health. So as athletic trainers, we really have began taking strides in the right direction to be more aware of mental health and anxiety disorders. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my post. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience. I know it's a little more difficult to listen to. Please find my resources on the following slide. I have listed them in the order that they come up in the post, as well as given the approximate time when I use the information from that resource. Thank you again. Have a great day.